welcome back to another episode of
My Waifu
and Me. And on today's episode, we are bringing you our entire July manga haul. Yes, that is what we have for you today. We have been doing some smaller manga hauls throughout the month of July, so hopefully you've checked those out over on our channel. Those are mostly just Right Stuff hauls, as well as a couple different small hunts that we did. So what you're seeing here is a culmination of all of the rest of our in-person purchases throughout the month of July, which ended up being a lot of manga.
It's too much. Our cat just walked in the room. She barged in somehow.
Yes, this month we ended up purchasing a lot more manga than we expected, both in-store and online, because this month was the Right Stuff birthday sale. So a lot of stuff was on sale online, and that's why we ended up with like 4 different Right Stuff hauls that we just decided to separate out, because that was already... I mean, it was like 100 volumes, probably just from Right Stuff.
But ooh, the deals.
So this is more of our in-person haul. This includes shopping at places like Barnes & Noble, local comic shop, half-price books, other things like that. But we're not going to waste any more time. We want to get right into it and show you guys all the cool manga we picked up. Some of this we've already actually kind of read, / we have knowledge of. I mean, there's literally stuff in here
Some of them, yeah.
You know, it's like sometimes you buy something and you're just like, I'm just going to read this right when I get home, that sort of thing. So I will start us out. So just going right at the top of my stack, I picked up the first volume of Sankareya. So Sankareya is a rom-com sort of manga that features a zombie girl. I don't know much about it other than that, but I've heard a lot of praise for the series. I've heard good stuff about the anime, and I wanted to check it out. I found this one volume at Barnes & Noble randomly, and I do know that it's mostly in stock online, I think, but I do know some volumes might be a little harder to find now. I'm not 100% sure, but I really wanted to check it out because I've just heard really good stuff. It does have an anime adaptation, but I don't really know much more than that. It's about a zombie girl and it's sort of romance comedy sort of thing. So that's really exciting. I'm excited to try this one out.
Okay, next we picked up the first 3 volumes of No Gun's Life. Gonna show off the covers here just really quickly. Don't want to take too much time, but I definitely like the aesthetic of this. I know, Jerry, you started reading.
Yeah, I went ahead and read the first volume of No Gun's Life actually this month, so I decided to go ahead and read it. We'll probably talk more about it in our July reading log, but it's a really interesting story about this guy at the front here. I'm not remembering his name because I'm just terrible with names, but he's got a revolver for a head. He's like an early version of an extended cyborg sort of character, and he's sort of like a detective who works on different things involving other cyborg type of people. That's sort of, it's got this sort of like sci-fi noir sort of feel to it. So if you're looking for something like that, definitely a cool pickup. But we only picked this one up because we found the second and third volumes half off.
Oh yeah, half-price books. We found 2 and 3. But then it took forever to find one.
Yeah.
But I think a Barnes or something.
It must have restocked. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it restocked. So yeah, for some reason when we picked up 2 and 3, one had been out of stock, and then we found it like within a week or 2 of that. So that was nice. But so the next thing we picked up was also from Half Price Books, and that was, and I'll show you this actually, the first volume of Master Keaton by Naoki Urasawa. This is a detective story. I'm really excited to give this one a shot. If you know any of Naoki Urasawa's works, he's mainly known for a story called Monster, and Monster's kind of his main work that I think a lot of people know. They also would probably know 20th Century Boys, which I might have something here from that as well. But Urasawa is sort of a master mangaka who's not really as well known maybe in the anime zone of anime manga fandoms, but anyone who reads manga knows his work. So this is one of those works that I think is like known, but not as many people have read or been engaged with. So I wanted to give it a shot. We did find it for only $9.99 at Half Price Books, so I was like, let's do it. Let's pick up volume 1. Haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I'm really excited. I believe it also involves sort of detectives, mysteries, that sort of thing. I think it's a little more episodic, but you can correct me down below, let me know a little more. But I think it's kind of got sort of like a solving different mysteries sort of feel to it.
Yeah, love the cover on that one too.
Mm-hmm.
So another Half Price book find. We got My Love Story. You can see right there, $4.99. Such a great price. And I don't think I'm gonna get the whole series because we actually watched the anime about a year ago during quarantine and stuff. But I kind of wanted to get the first volume. It's hard to pass up this price. And to just kind of commemorate our love for the anime that we saw and
love
just
the anime.
The love for the story. So definitely wanted to add that to the collection.
Yes. And yeah, if you haven't seen the anime, it's super cute. You should dedefinitely check it out.
It's one of the best
It's about
things I've
this
ever
dude,
seen.
he's big, and this girl down here who he thinks is in love with like his best friend, but surprise, she's actually in love with him, and it's super cool. So if you haven't checked it out, watch the anime, but also read the manga if you're interested in it as well. So the next thing I picked up is I finally caught up on Dead's Demons Day-to-Day Destruction. So I bought volume 8, in volume 9 at Barnes & Noble. And I was kind of holding off on picking these up originally because I've only read one volume of it. But I had picked up 1 through 7 previously, and I was like, you know what, I'll wait on 8 and 9. And I know 10's coming out soon as well. So I was like, I'll wait until I kind of read the rest of it. But I saw these for an additional, so it was at Barnes & Noble, so I already got 10% off for my membership. And they were marked down an additional 10%. And I was like, you know what, I can't pass that up. I've got to pick these 2 guys up. So I did. Dead's Demons, Day-to-Day Destruction. It's a very interesting story about 2 young girls. They're just finishing up high school, and essentially the world they live in, the Tokyo they live in, is there's like an alien spaceship hovering above it that sort of is impending calamity. It's a very interesting concept, written by Inio Asano, mainly known for Goodnight Poon Poon, Solanin, some of those popular works, and this is his most recent work. I believe it's actually concluding in Japan. He said that it's going to be concluded by the end of this year in Japan, so I assume we'll get the last volume here in the US probably in the next year or so after it concludes in Japan. So that's really exciting. I think it's going to probably be 12 volumes, I believe is what he said on his tweet. So that's it. So Dead Demons, Day Destruction is what it's called. Volumes 8 and 9.
Also really aesthetic volumes. In
Beautiful.
That set. I think they're so cool. All right, next up, we have Orient Volume 1. I picked this up because I was kind of interested. I think it's the same mangaka as Maggie,
I don't know how it's pronounced.
You know.
Yeah.
Alibaba, Aladdin, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's also an upcoming anime in the works, so I thought it would be interesting to try the story, see if I'd like it, if I'd rather read it or watch it. I don't know. Maybe I'll do both.
We'll probably try the anime no matter what. Like, we pretty much will try any anime, but good to get up front on it, because also if an anime comes out and it's really popular, the first couple volumes get really hard to find.
Yeah,
generally
that's always pretty much the case.
They're not printed to meet demand, so it's like they're not ready for if it shoots up. I mean, it happened with To Your Eternity, happened with Jujutsu Kaisen, it happened with Chainsaw Man doesn't have an anime yet, but it's happened with...
It will happen.
It's happened with a lot of series where, the anime will come out and then all of a sudden the first couple volumes are a little harder to find for a little bit. It's better to get a jump start on it, and if the anime's sick, then we can just start collecting
It
more.
is a really beautiful cover, though. It's a little hard to tell, but there's a lot of really great details in there.
Absolutely. So the next thing I picked up is another Urasawa, and it is 20th Century Boys Volume 2 in the singles. So if you've seen our collection video, you would know that I actually have Volume 1 of this. And I've had Volume 1 of this since childhood. And I honestly was planning to buy the rest of the singles. The omnibuses are really cool. They're pretty easy to get a hold of. They were actually on sale during the Right Stuff sale this month, or in July. But I wanted to get the singles, and I have an intention to get the rest of the singles. And honestly, I saw this at a Barnes & Noble. A normal price at a Barnes & Noble. I was super surprised because I hadn't seen any singles of 20th Century Boys in a Barnes & Noble in a while. And I saw this on the shelf, and it was in such great shape. I mean, no yellowing. There was just, no issues with the volume at all. The spine was really nice. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pick it up. I already have Volume 1, now I have Volume 2. And I'm just going to try to buy a lot of Volumes 3 through to the end and hopefully get a pretty good price on the singles, because they can be a little hard to pick up. But yeah, I'm really excited to maybe eventually get this whole series and read through it.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder, where it came from. Was it just hidden in the back or something? It's so weird how that happens with manga.
I'm really trying to figure out, why they have Volume 2 at my local Barnes. It's never been there before. I've been to that Barnes so many times, and it was randomly put back on the shelf.
So strange.
I don't know if it's a sudden restock of some old singles or something like that, but it doesn't seem to be, so I'm not sure. If you guys know anything about a 20th Century Boys singles restock, which really wouldn't make sense to me because the omnibuses are still out on shelves pretty heavily.
Yeah.
But if anyone knows anything about a restock of those volumes, that'd be really cool, because I thought they were out of print, but...
Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, next up, Jujutsu Kaisen, Volume 11.
An early pickup for us.
Very early.
Yeah, this is supposed to come out in August.
Yeah, but it ended up hitting shelves in our area at least the last week of July, so that's why it's in this July haul. But such a great cover. Got Nanami on there.
The best.
One of my favorite characters in this series. And I recently just read all of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'll be talking about that in our part 2 reading log for July soon. I'll try to make it spoiler free because I know you don't know a lot about it. But I'm happy with it. I love it. I love the cover. Probably one of my favorite covers so far.
Easily.
Yeah, hands down.
Okay, so then I picked up Volume 5 of Raw Hero. So this is the second series I think it's actually the third publication by the author of Prison School. This series is very weird. It's super ecchi, borderline hentai. I mean, genuinely, just if you're interested in this, only pick it up if you really know what you're getting into. This is truly an adult warning. I'm afraid to even open the pages for you guys. But this is volume 5. This is the penultimate volume because volume 6 is the finale. So there are only 6 volumes of Raw Hero. So I'm excited to finally get the rest of this and finish this up. I won't really explain the plot because it's a bit absurd. But if you want to Google it, check it out. Go for it. Raw Hero. If you
like Prison School, you'll probably like this.
Yeah, if you're
the same author.
If you're into Prison School, if you're into super ecchi stuff, definitely check it out.
Yeah. Okay, next up, Go With the Clouds, North by Northwest. This is something I have been eyeing for a long time, and I have just constantly been back and forth about whether or not I wanted to pick it up. The other day, I just said, screw it, I'm going to pick it up.
Let's give it a shot.
I really don't know a lot about it. There's actually not even really a description page in here.
Yeah.
But I think the art looks
phenomenal.
Fantastic. I mean, look at that. It's very detailed, very focused on nature. I think it also takes place in what's it called, like Nordic countries, and that's something I'm very interested in because like Vinland Saga, that kind of stuff. Definitely like that, and I think the mangaka is too. So what I've read about it, I believe it's sort of like a mystery type of plot going on, but other than that, I don't know anything about it. But I'm excited to read it. I think there's 4 volumes out now. The 5th one is available for pre-order, but I can't remember when it comes out. But yeah, it looked like a very interesting series, and it's very cool looking, so I'm excited to try it out.
We've definitely been eyeing this one for a while, but we just grabbed this at Barnes, on a frosty afternoon. Okay, so next up we have Slam Dunk Volume 1. We did pick this one up this month. It was a restock at Barnes & Noble, so I went ahead and grabbed Volume 1. I actually already talked about this pretty in-depth in our first half of July reading log because I literally brought it home and immediately read it. So I did talk a little bit about this at the very end. It's the very last thing, so I didn't want to spoil this haul too much. But yes, Slam Dunk Volume 1. It's the classic Shonen Jump basketball manga by Takahiko Inoue, one that I'm particularly familiar with from my past as well. So Slam Dunk Volume 1.
All right, next up we have Die Dark 1 and 2. You like that?
Pretty sweet.
It was pretty smooth.
Die Dark, baby!
Again, Hayashida, the creator of Dorohedoro. Pretty interesting art and a very interesting story, but I think I like it more than Dorohedoro so far.
Yeah.
I haven't read the 2nd volume yet, but these 2, I mean, definitely worth a pickup. The volumes are really high quality. It's like really awesome.
Yeah, if you see this in stores, grab it. Just because the what 7 C's printed on here, the
like
actual
glossy,
the matte of this and the gloss of the image itself is really sweet. They look really good in your hand.
The title and the image is a different gloss than the actual matte binding. Mm-hmm. So
and really thick pages
really
as well.
Cool. Yeah,
they
very
really
high quality pages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some good color pages in there too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sick.
Excited to get into those.
Volume 1 and 2. And we actually bought Die Dark in June, the first volume, but we forgot it because the waifu was reading it.
I had it out reading it, and I forgot to put it back in our haul box.
So we wanted to catch you up.
In the June haul, but
we grabbed Volume 2 this month for sure for our July haul.
That actually happened in July.
Right. Okay, so this one's also pretty funny. We did a manga hunt the other day, and I picked up Land of the Lustrous Volume 4, and you were probably thinking, well, Jerry, did you ever get Volume 3? Because I got 1 and 2 in a previous video, and then you were like, well, what happened? So obviously, yes, I actually already had Volume 3 at the time that we filmed that, but I had picked it up on a video that we did not film. So this is Land of the Lustrous Volume 3. I have read through the first volume of this. I'm really excited to get into the rest. Someone told me to go ahead and pick up the first 4. That was what I was suggested to do. So that's what I've done. I have the first 4. But I was already pretty bought in after the first volume. Kind of a land of gemstones, living gemstones with like assigned purposes in life. Super exciting to try 2, 3, and 4 because I've heard, again, someone kept telling me 4 is like the turning point. 4 is like what you need to read up to like really be excited about this series. So I grabbed the first 4. I hope I love it, and then I'll buy the next however many. I think there's 10 or 11 that are out in the US already. So I'll probably buy the rest if I end up loving the first 4, which I do expect to because the first one was so cool. So yes, Land of the Lustrous Volume 3.
Next up we have Gleipnir.
I do not know.
I don't know anything about this really, but it's kind of like a monster type of anime, so we'll see. But
The cover's cool.
Yeah, the cover's really cool. I feel like I've heard good things about it, just not details about what it's about. So that's why I don't know anything about it. But I'm going to try it because I like to try new things.
Might as well try a new series. So yeah, Gleipnir's another new series. We just picked up Volume 1 to start, see if we like it.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. Dr. Stone, Volume 17. We've been buying Dr. Stone ever
since it came out.
Yeah, we've been buying since Volume 1 came out. So we just buy it every time the new volumes come out. So we're up through 17. I think I've only read through about Volume 12. Yeah, I'm on Volume 12. Waifu's past 17. She's fully caught up with the Shonen Jump app.
I read weekly when it comes out.
So I'm a little behind. Actually, like 100 chapters behind. So I don't know who I'm saying, but about 100 chapters behind.
This man doesn't even know.
The weekly releases. So I'm excited. I do really love the covers of Dr. Stone. I really love the spines of Dr. Stone. Okay. I think something about the way the colors look on the shelf is really cool. I've heard some complaints. Some people don't like it as much, but I actually really love it. So Dr. Stone, Volume 17.
Y'all already know. Platinum in
Volume 13. Look at that sparkle.
Ooh. Sparkle.
Look at that.
Here's closer up. Yeah, definitely one of my newer favorite series that I have been reading. I haven't read this one yet, and I don't know if I will until the very last one comes out too.
Yeah, the last one's delayed till like March of next year.
It's gonna take forever, so I don't know what to do about it. Yeah. Maybe I have to read the rest online. I don't know.
It's all on the Shonen Jump app, so you can do that without any issue, but it's still interesting to me that they're waiting like 6 months to publish the last volume.
It's really weird, especially because the anime is going to come out later this year also.
Yeah. The anime is going to adapt the whole manga series. It's 24 episodes. It's going to go ahead and adapt all 14 volumes. So I'm excited for that.
But yeah, I'm excited to finish it up, really.
Yeah.
It's definitely been a cool series. I know it's gotten some criticism. I don't really know what that is exactly, but...
The criticism is it's not as good as Bakuman and Death Note. That's literally the criticism it gets. I still think it's a really fun series.
I mean, I really don't care. As long as you enjoy something, you enjoy it. Like, you're going to like what you like. So, definitely excited for the anime to come out of this, too, and see that adapted.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. All right, so next I have a really fun one. The most recent volume of Interspecies Reviewers. I'm going to cover this with my hand, just so I don't show anything inappropriate. Interspecies Reviewers is a really fun comedy series. It features sort of a fantasy cast, and they visit different fantasy monster brothels, and they write reviews about them. It is ecchi, obviously, but just know it's not. The anime is much more like amped up ecchi. The manga is actually a little more toned down. So if you want to pick this up, this is an awesome way to do it. It is a very wordy series because it's kind of, the comedy is like based in the reviews, which is funny. So if you want to check it out, there are 5 volumes out in the US as well as 1 side story volume, and I think there's only 1 more side story volume that's not published. I don't even think 6 is out in Japan yet, so I think we are caught up with the Japanese release. 6 might already be out in Japan, but if not, we're pretty close to what's out in Japan as well right now. So Interspecies Reviewers Volume 5.
Alright, next we have Black Lagoon 1 and 2. This one's still wrapped, but yeah, definitely 2 that you don't find as often on shelves, so I wanted to pick it up. I haven't read it or watched the anime before, so but Jerry's always told me good things about this series, so I definitely wanted to at least give it a try. I don't know how hard it will be to find the other volumes, but might as well start with the first 2 and go from there, and see what happens. But definitely excited to get into this one. Yeah,
for those that don't know, the anime came out quite a while ago. I'm a big fan of the anime. I watched it a long time ago. I never read the manga. But also this month it was announced a little bit more information about the author and how he's been faced with like a lot of depression that's really ate him up, and like that's why the series has been on hiatus for as long as it has. I think it's been on hiatus for 2 or 3 years at this point. I believe there's 11 volumes out in total in the US, so there's really not a lot of the series actually out. But if you want to check out the anime or the manga, I really loved the anime. I think it's a pretty good adaptation, but I'm excited to give the manga a shot as well. I want to see what's different, see how different it is. But I know the art's really, really well done, and I really did enjoy the story. So really cool series about a bad A female protagonist. That's the best way I can put it. Revi's awesome, dude. So next I've got a little bit of a double dose here. So I am a huge Shuzo Oshimi fan, and one thing that I've been trying to do with Shuzo is put together the Flowers of Evil single volumes. So I did pick up Flowers of Evil Volume 5 for retail. This was in stock on Barnes & Noble's website. So I think now I have like 4 of the singles from the series. I don't think I'm ever going to get them all because for the most part they're super out of print. And I think I saw someone selling like the complete set for like $1,100. And the couple that I do have, I found for retail or less. So I'm trying to get them for retail or less. It is definitely an awesome series. I really love the anime. I'm ready to read the manga all the way through. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to read the manga all the way through. And that's because we did finally pick up Omnibus 3 and Omnibus 4, the final omnibus, which only collects 2 volumes of the Flowers of Evil here. So yes, this completes our omnibus collection for the Flowers of Evil. So we now have the whole series in print. We obviously don't have all the singles, but we have the entire series, omnibuses 1, 2, 3, and 4. Definitely check these out. This is sort of Shuzo Oshimi's, like, I don't know, it's the work that a lot of people look to when they look to a work to start his stuff and get into him. It's the Flowers of Evil. It's definitely the series that got me into his work, and I'm excited to read the manga version because I've actually only seen the anime. The waifu's read already after we bought these omnibuses.
I'll talk about it more.
She devoured all 4 of them one day. So she's now read the whole manga, which makes me happy.
Okay, let's clear something up. I read the first omnibus, and then I read 3 like in one day. I read the other 3 in one day. Okay.
So
that was partially true. Partially true. Okay, so here's my last part. This is probably not surprising, but maybe...
If you saw our last Right Stuff haul, you're not going to be surprised by this.
Maybe you're wondering, why is there only 6 through 22 of this? Well, because I already got the other 5 of Golden Kamui at a different point before it went on sale on Right Stuff. So that's where that is. Now I can finally put this on our shelves, and it will be a complete row of Golden Kamui. It's going to be great.
Completely caught up now.
But man, I just love it. I love it so much. I love the characters so much. I love the anime, even though Jerry doesn't want to finish it with me.
We're close. We're dangerously close.
We're so close.
We have like 10 episodes left, I think.
Yeah, we're like halfway through the last season.
Yeah, we made it some way through.
My husband.
The boy.
My husband.
Fantastic. All right.
That's it for me.
And that's it. That's all of the waifus pickups this month.
Yeah.
I just have a couple more. So I grabbed this volume from Amazon, and I really meant to grab it during the Right Stuff sale, but it sold out, and I was waffling about it for too long. So this is Gigantomaxia. It's a series also written by Kentaro Miura, the author of Berserk. I did decide to go ahead and pick this volume up just to check it out and support Miura. Support the Miura's work is the best way to put it. And I think I'm excited to give it a shot. You know, it's just it's a one and done sort of thing, just one volume. And I was like, I might as well check it out. We've really loved reading Berserk finally. And, Gigantomaxia looked good. It was obviously a couple bucks cheaper on Right Stuff. I just grabbed it on Amazon, shipped and sold by Amazon for, full cover price or something like that. But I really wanted to grab it, and I just regretted not grabbing it during the Right Stuff sale. So, boo to me, and I paid full price. Happens to the best of us. Okay, a couple more from my end. I also picked this up at a local half-price books. It was half off cover price, and that is Osamu Tezuka's Ayako. So this cover is really awesome. I think this was also on sale in the Right Stuff sale, but I believe it was cheaper at my half-price books than it was on the Right Stuff sale, if I remember correctly, and that's why I picked it up at half price instead of on the Right Stuff sale. But I will say that there is some damage to the spine that happens sometimes when you pick something up at a half-price books. It's clearly been read, if that makes any sense. I don't know much about what Ayako is actually about, what the actual content is. I've heard some controversy around it. Osamu Tezuka has a couple controversial works, and I think this is definitely one of them. He's written so many manga. He's famously known, obviously, for Astro Boy. He's the godfather of all modern manga. So I'm really excited to read this. It is not in traditional, it goes traditional English direction, so it's been flipped.
Left to right.
It's been flipped for the U.S., so that's interesting, and that actually happened with a lot of Osamu Tezuka's works here in the U.S. in their publication.
Yeah.
So, really exciting, pick up at half-price books to find Ayako. And the last thing, the one I'm the most proud of, the coolest find for me, has got to be this. And this is the sealed, complete Speed Racer Mach Go 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 box set. So this was a box set that was produced a couple years ago, I think around the time when the live action film actually came out.
So cool.
This was a box set that was produced, and it just compiles, to my understanding, the whole original Speed Racer manga. But what's awesome about this is still in its original plastic. This has never been removed from its plastic. It is a still sealed Speed Racer Mach Go Go, and honestly I want to rip it open because I want to read it, which is like, dang it, but it is still sealed, and it's been years old. It does have this weird car attached to the top, and that was not done, or that's not a part of the actual box. That's just something that the owner that I bought this from, he had done that to display it in his shop. He had stuck this little Speed Racer car on top of the box set. And he was selling this for cover price. So for the $39.95 that's on the cover, which it's not really worth a ton on the aftermarket. This is not like some like super rare manga that people are like pining for. But I do see it going for a little bit more, especially when it's still in its original plastic. And so it was a really cool find. I found it at a local comic shop. And it was just sitting on the shelf, and the owner of the comic shop said he had inherited it from a buddy of his that had passed away. And it ended up in the shop for sale because the buddy kind of donated all of his stuff to be sold in the shop. He said it had been sitting out for a while, and I was the first guy to go, wow, I really want that. So got it for cover price and got this really cool car that he had attached to the top himself. This was attached by the collector that originally owned it. So it's kind of got a story to go with it now, and it's now in my collection. And, Speed Racer is one of those classic anime and manga that, like, I don't know. This is like the thing that made me the happiest this month, was finding this for retail at a store here in Dallas and just being able to pick this up. And like I said, yes, there are some eBay listings for almost the same price, maybe just a bit more, but, something about the story and all of that and just having it for cover price right from a local shop really meant a lot. So it was a really cool find, and we're really happy to add this one to our collection. All right, wife, that's it.
There we go.
Woo! So that is everything else from the month of July. Outside of our Right Stuffs orders, outside of our manga hunts that we did. So manga hunts, we usually put our hauls at the end of the video. Yep. Right Stuff, we decided to do some standalone videos because we were ordering, literally one was over 50 volumes in one order. So that was like a little much. But beside the point, we wanted to separate all this. So this is just stuff we found out hunting this month. Half Price Books, Barnes & Noble, Kinokuniya, Books A Million, all those places. This is what we found out on the go. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you saw some manga that you want to pick up. I hope that you enjoyed everything that we have going on here. And if you did, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe, and that helps out the growth of our channel. It helps our channel to grow bigger, helps us to get to a bigger audience, and helps more people to see some of the fun and exciting manga content that we're producing here on the My Waifu and Me channel. And if you're stoked and excited about that, then let's do it. Let's join along. Let's talk anime. Let's talk manga. We're really excited to connect with all of you that have joined us and all of our new subscribers that have joined us, because we've gained something like 100 plus new subscribers since we started doing this.
It's been crazy, but
and
we're so thankful, honestly.
Just beyond thankful for everything. So as we wrap up July and get into August with what sort of manga content we're going to be bringing you guys, we're excited because we want to bring some more reviews. We want to bring the heat. We want to bring maybe some video essays. We want to tinkle with everything. Tinker. We want to tinker with everything and really play around.
This man said tinkle.
Really play around. We're gonna really play around with the YouTube as a whole. But as per the usual, this has been My Waifu and Me. Keep collecting manga, keep buying manga, keep having fun reading manga. This has been My Waifu and Me, and we're saying peace!